الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله أكبر.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله
أشهد أن
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله
أشهد أن
حي على الصلاة
لا حول ولا قوة.
حي على الصلاة
لا حول ولا قوة.
حي على الفلاح
لا
حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله إن الحمد لله نبيا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين رائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا اللهم على من عادانا. اللهم ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا. اللهم ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وعنا معهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to him, and peace and blessings be upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's khutbah, we are forced to do it somehow short, because Asr, we have just about 20 minutes to Asr. So I will try to make it very intensive and condensed. Now, basically the title is Let the Halloween be an opportunity to test our relationship with our kids. What is the message now? I repeat, I want to make benefit of an incident that has already happened, and many of you witnessed a lot of ups and downs with this regard. We saw some people, they were not able to deal with it. Some people, they discovered they do not discuss with their kids. Some people, they panicked for whatever reasons. Some people, they participate. So from Islamic point of view, how am I supposed to deal with such an event? So my job basically is try to offer you or some kind of awareness what could be the steps how to deal it. Now, awareness depends basically on understanding the concepts, to know if there is a problem, where is the problem. Number one, as I always begin, because some people sometimes they are fond of just taking words out of context. Muslims, wherever they are, in an Islamic or non-Islamic country, they are asked to respect the law of the land. However, our attitude towards the Halloween has nothing to do with the law. It has to do with the culture and with the concept of religion. Why I'm saying that? Because some Muslims, for some political reasons, they came from their countries and they are afraid to discuss anything or to highlight anything or to talk about anything. And they put everything in one package. They are afraid from everything. This is a big intellectual mistake. We are discussing culture, not law. So let's distinguish between this and this, number one. Number two, as I did just in another khutbah, I was asking a question just to highlight a concept. Try to imagine with me the following. Now, we Muslims, when we are approaching Ramadan or approaching Eid al-Adha or approaching the day of Arafah, as you know, we were preparing. Now, do you think our Chinese colleagues or Chinese community in Canada or Buddhist community in Canada or Christian or Jewish or Hindu community, they will be panicking, they don't know what to do because their kids might start fasting Ramadan with us? I mean, I'm seriously asking, do you think this is a problem or an issue? Definitely not. We have not ever witnessed just one incident that, for example, Chinese, Buddhist, or Jewish, Christian, something, they say, we are facing a problem. They don't have an inner discussion. How can we prevent our kids from fasting the month of Ramadan? Because the problem does not exist. Why? Simply because it's not their religion and not their culture. So simply they know that we fast. Far away they respect what we do. They might be interested to know how or why we fast. However, they don't share us in our fasting. Is this a common sense or not? Imagine, can you imagine, try to picture this. Can you imagine an atheist who does not believe in God or in the hereafter is trying to, for example, to fast the day of Arafah with the intention of asking God to grant him the Jannah? It will be very funny. He will not do it. But if an atheist does not share us, can you imagine a secular or an atheist, for example, cannot control his kids, female kids, from wearing the hijab because his Muslim neighbors, they wear the hijab, so by default, they feel shy not to wear the hijab? Does this happen in reality? I, as a Muslim, do I feel offended if Buddhists or Chinese or Jews or Christians, they don't fast? Do I feel offended? Definitely no. Simply it's not their religion, not their faith, not their culture. Why should I feel offended? Why? Do I feel offended if an atheist or a Christian or a Jew, his daughter does not wear the hijab? She's not a Muslimah. Why should I feel offended? It's my culture, which is based on my faith and my belief. But what is this? This is the other side of the argument, the opposite argument exactly. Why it's the case, many Muslims, when something like Halloween comes, many of them, they panic. What shall I do? Why this is a problem? By the way, my point is not just to discuss how to understand our stance from the Halloween. My point is, I repeat the title, let the Halloween be an opportunity to test our relationship with our kids. Because if a Muslim family faces a disaster when Halloween comes, this means they don't discuss. This means the parenting is not functional and they do not convey the message of the identity. Type. Another question. Do you think Muslims, they are prevented or prohibited for them from sharing beautiful moments with others? Definitely no. Do you think it's haram to be happy with others? No. No, no, no. So what's the point? Yani, for example, I'm giving you just a logical justification how to know how to deal with such an event. Now, we as Muslims, let's imagine that some neighborhood in Ontario, or it's a custom, a tradition, a way of living in Ontario or in whole Canada, that each neighborhood, they decided, like a tradition, a very strict tradition, by the end of each month, all the neighbors, they try to knock each other doors and try to spread some kind of candies and sweets just to break the ice with the new neighbors. If this is a tradition, do you think it's haram? What is the reason behind that? To break the ice with the new neighbors. No problem. Do it. Enjoy it. And have a budget from your salary for this. May Allah accept you. No problem. So don't misunderstand the concept. We, as Muslims, we have our own faith, beliefs, creed, culture. Part of what we believe, we do not accept things that goes against our faith. So our problem with the Halloween is not a matter we don't want to share. No, be careful. Don't let anyone to play this game with you. We do share all happy moments with everyone. Actually, we spread happiness among everyone. But in a certain specific thing, if it contains something goes against type, what's the problem with the Halloween? Simply, the Halloween goes to a paganist traditions, Wathani. The origins, most likely, according to the best of my readings, it goes a very pagan, thousands of years ago, to the Irish and the Scottish traditions, back in what we know now as Britain or the UK, thousands of years ago. People generally on earth, many of them, they were paganists, Wathaniyin. They worship idols and they believe in multi-gods, good gods, bad gods, and they believe in the spirits and demons, all of these mixed things. Part of what they used to believe in is the following. They used to believe that by the end of the summer, the end of the harvest season, which is October, by the end of October, evil gods plus bad evil spirits, they will come out of their graves and they will try to do a lot of evil and harm the people. So the people, as paganists with their myths in their minds, they decided, they developed two ways to protect themselves from this. Number one, they used to sacrifice, to offer a sacrifice such as harvest or animals for these evil gods and evil spirits. In addition, they developed by their own minds that one of the ways to let the spirits and bad evil gods be afraid of them, to have a very scary costumes and such a thing and put in the, which means not to let this, things come to us. It's like, for example, the paganist tradition, you say, hey, touch wood. You know what this means, touch wood? Because paganists in Europe, they used to think that if you want to evil spirits, they will not be able to listen to you. This is the origin of the paganist tradition. Now, some people, they want to speak about something, they say, hey, touch wood. What's touch wood? It's a paganist tradition. On the base of that, there is evil spirit next to you, listening to you. By doing this will disappear and you can do the gossip or you talking or whatever. It's a pure paganistic things. This is the origin. It was developed later. Romans, they invaded Britain. They mixed their Roman culture with the Irish and British. Then Christianity came into the line. Some of the Catholic priests, they took these traditions, they developed them some certain way. The end result, it became part of the industry now. Part of whatever. They call it party, they call it happiness. Everyone has the right to believe in what? For you and me as Muslims, the origin of the Halloween goes to satanic paganist traditions, which goes simply against your faith and my faith. So when I decide not to celebrate because of this, now I'm not bringing something new to you, you know this. My point, do I pay attention to give a good amount of time to convey these concepts during the year? Or I just wait till the Halloween comes, then I panic. Sheikh, please help us. We need to do something in the masjid because our kids. Is it a surprise? It's not a surprise. It's part of the culture. This simple part of the culture goes against your faith. Basically, you and me should always be ready to whatever, because some certain things are acceptable in our culture, in our religion. Some certain things, they are not acceptable. We do not solve problems with our kids by giving them like a pill, okay, as a medicine. Tomorrow is Halloween. Today, take this pill. Kid, look, this is haram. Daddy, why it's haram? It's just haram. Do you think we have solved a problem? No. Your kid and my kid, they need to be prepared to understand what Islam is. What does it mean to believe? What does it mean to go against the faith? Where are the areas that we have flexibility and we don't have any problem in sharing? Why do we have a problem restricting in other areas? Depending on what? What is the context? This leads to what? This is knowledge. This is sympathy. This is discussion. This is time. This is a quality time between you and your kids, which takes months and years to establish an identity. Your kid should be aware and should be practicing Islam and should be proud of his identity. So Halloween should not be a problem. It's just a challenge. We need to be wise how to deal with it, not to panic, because as I told you, I did not hear in my life that Jews or Christians or Buddhists or Chinese or atheists, they panic when Ramadan comes because their kids, they will fast the month of Ramadan, because simply they will not. And I have not witnessed any single incident, for example, that a Muslim has the right to tell all other Canadians, shame on you, why you do not share us in the Eid celebration? Why they should share us? It's our religion. Why they should? Do you feel offended if Canadians did not fast the month of Ramadan? No, you have no right to feel offended. They are not Muslims. Where is the problem? So please, let's review and put things in the right order to understand basically how to raise. I'm just giving an idea, how to analyze, how to understand, how to go in depth. We will want to educate our kids. It's not just a solution to keep silent all the time, busy all the time. When Halloween or anything else comes out of a sudden, just we work like an emergency case. Just we go to the masjid, we have a celebration. طيب. Did your kid understand the concept? If they understand, alhamdulillah. It's a good challenge. It could be a da'wah opportunity. We do respect our parents. No problem. The fact that my daughter wears the hijab, do I feel offended if my Christian brother, his daughter does not wear the hijab? I have no right. Do I feel offended if my Buddhist, for example, does not fast with me? Why should I? Why it's the case some Muslims, they feel shy not to celebrate the Halloween. It's not your faith, not your culture. It's not part of, and it goes against your culture. Simply, with all due respect, let others know that this does not belong to your faith. Where's the problem? The problem is not with the people. The problem is not with the culture. The problem, in my understanding, with us. When we don't know, or we fall in short in spreading the true knowledge with our kids. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. استغفر الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. Respected brothers and sisters, my point is not the Halloween. Halloween is just an incident. My point is our attitude towards our kids. The title of my khutbah, let the Halloween be an opportunity to test our relationship with our kids. Because I did witness a very good, nice incidents for the people, how they acted in a great way, in a wise way. However, we did hear and witness the other side of the coin. Panicked, they don't know what to do, and some of them simply they shared because they feel shy. Feel shy from what? You feel shy not to tell your kids that when they do these things, they are belonging or related to some kind of paganist roots? Feel shy? Where is my identity? Where is the relation with my faith? I repeat, as Muslims, we have no problem at all to share any kind of goodness on earth, as long as it does not contradict a basic pillar in our faith. That's why I told you, if there is a custom in Canada, for example, people in all neighborhoods, by the end of every month, they spread sweets to break the ice with the new neighbors. Please share them. If another 10 incidents, all of them, they have nothing to do with any point against your faith, no problem. Be the first. Be the initiator. No problem. The idea, if it goes, the priority is for your faith, because we don't believe in evil gods. We believe in one God, subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't believe that evil spirits, they leave their graves in a certain time and we do not remove them. We believe in the existence of the jinn, yes. We believe that we can protect ourselves by being completely trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, this is our faith. We can protect ourselves from the jinn through mu'awwadat. This is our faith. I don't believe that by very, very scary faith, in a way, or with blood or with a cut hand, evil gods will leave me. Evil gods, if you believe in evil gods, there's a big question mark on my faith. We don't believe in evil gods. So what's the point? So please don't let mix between what is supposed to be just a culture and a culture based on faith has to do with paganist roots. This is how we need to understand what is what and who is who. If you do not pay attention to these things, by years, your kids might be aware in a status, everything in their mind is equal as one package. So you will face a disaster when you tell them, just imagine when they were kids, they were participating, all of these kids. At a certain time, you started being more aware of your religion. You started, no, this is haram, don't do it. But they are doing it since 10 years. Why now? You can't convince them. They don't care. But please, now, and let me finish with this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not bringing something from the house of my mother. This is a Quranic verse. Allah says, oh, who you believe, protect yourself and your families, your daughters, your sons, your wives from a hellfire, which its fuel is النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ, people and stones. I need to think in the following, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, God forbid, possible end result. Is it possible that one of my kids could be from those people, i.e. the fuel of the hellfire? Yes. How can I prevent it? Do your best to teach him right and good. But what if he did not listen to me? I've done my best. My job is finished. What is the dalil? What's the evidence? Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Lut alayhi salam. Nuh alayhi salam, 1,000 years. None of us can do 1,000% of what he did. Yet, he was not able to control his son. Allah will not hold him accountable in the day of judgment because he did. The problem is with the son. Have we done our best? Please, let's review. What's the title? Let the Halloween be a golden opportunity to test our relation with our kids. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let our relation be the best and to help us to let our kids feel not just know about Islam, not just understand Islam, but practice Islam and feel proud of Islam and make da'wah for Islam. By this, go and sleep, put your head on the pillow with full peace and tranquility. Because if God took your soul after you've done this job, wallahi, insha'Allah, you will be very happy when you stand for your Lord in the day of judgment. اللهم ارحمنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك يا كريم. اللهم اغفر لنا ما أسررنا وما أعلنا وما أنت أعلم به منا وارحمنا وارحم والدينا ووالد والدينا واصحاب الحقوق والواجبات علينا. ان الله يأمر بالعدل والاحسان وايتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. واقم الصلاة.